Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to Java and Joy. It's been a minute. I took a very extended break to focus on my health. And in that time, I have been able to refresh my energy, have a stronger vision, deepen my purpose, and I have so much joy to share with you. And I want to start by saying that sometimes life slows us down. It's not to stop us, it's to redirect us. So in this back to business episode, I'm really going to open up and talk to you about what this season in my life has taught me, how my values are clearer, and why I'm excited to walk the next chapter with you all. As I said before, I've gained a lot of clarity, and I've discovered an even stronger calling to help women find joy and fulfillment in their own lives. It's interesting how something, I will say negative for the lack of a better word, can create something positive if you allow it to. I've always said that when one door closes, another opens. This is the case on a much larger level, but I'm excited for where it is taking me and this show and my life coaching, my online presence, and what I think it's going to change as far as the impact for my community. So I want to start off with briefly explaining why I was gone. I don't want to go into a million details because that could be a very long episode. I could probably break down the last 3 months of health issues into 10 episodes. So I'm just going to give you cliff notes or highlights. And those of you that follow me on social media, specifically on Meta in my stories, you kind of already know some of this. So to recap, back on April 30th, 3 days before the mini marathon that I've been training for, I fell while running. I tripped and fell and got what I had thought and still assume was a sprained ankle. At the time, my biggest, upset was that, oh darn, I don't get to run the mini. Boo-hoo. About a week later, I started having a lot more pain in my leg. And I just knew something wasn't right. And of course, I went to Google, which, by the way, technically kind of saved me, but also took me to a very dark place. I started reading how injuries can lead to blood clots, and if you have throbbing, swelling, heaviness, go get checked. So I did. And in that emergency room, they proceeded to tell me, there's no way you have a blood clot. It's a sprained ankle. You're just having residual pain from the injury. You can leave. Now, I want to mention here that I'm going to be doing an entire episode just on advocating for yourself, because that's a huge lesson that I learned through all this. And I want to make sure that I can empower, educate, and help other women find their voice and realize how important it is to listen to your gut and to advocate for yourself. We know our bodies better than anyone. I'm going to say that again for those of you in the back. You know your body better than anyone. And don't let any doctor, professional or person tell you otherwise. If something doesn't feel right, don't give in. Don't take no for an answer. Get a second opinion. Push for yourself. Thank goodness that my personality is someone who doesn't settle, who isn't shy, and isn't afraid to speak up and push for themselves. But I know so many women are. And I'm going to do a whole episode just on that. But let me say this. Had I not stood my ground in that hospital that night and said, I'm not leaving. I want you to do an ultrasound on my leg. There is a chance. It's a small chance, but it's still a chance that I may not be here. Because just briefly, you can go Google, you can look up blood clots all you want, but they can literally kill you. They can break off from your leg and travel to your heart, lungs, brain, and kill you instantly. So they're not just, this simple little thing that you take a pill and everything's all better. Okay? So let me just clarify that. So I demanded the ultrasound, and sure enough, there was a blood clot in my leg. That led to a series of a lot of events because I had to be put on an anticoagulant or blood thinner, for other terms, which my body did not react well to. Plus, I had to be removed from my hormones that I had been taking since I was a teenager to regulate my lady times. So not only was my body having reactions to a new medication, but my body was detoxing from 25 years of hormones. Plus, I was still injured and in pain and very tired. This led to not being able to eat, sleep, or even shower. The basic needs of life. 30 days of that went on. Thank goodness the body started to adjust. But then I spent the next month just trying to get my energy back. After not sleeping, not eating, and not taking care of yourself because you can't, your body is depleted and you can't really do much. So that 30 days was just rehabilitation for the mind, body, and soul. So all that to say, I finished my 90 days of treatment. The blood clot is mostly gone. It left some what they call a chronic clot, which is a little bit of scarring in my vein. So I now have 70% blood flow through that leg, possibly permanently. We shall see. So I have to do things like elevate my legs a couple times a day and wear a compression sock and be very hydrated and be very mindful about this. And this may just be part of my new normal. And that's something to accept, get used to, and start new routines around. So, as you can see, this was a lot. It also, the medication caused a lot of mental side effects, including anxiety and panic attacks, which I have never had. I've always had mild anxiety, but I've never had full-blown episodes, panic attacks. And those are very draining. Again, thank goodness, by the grace of God, those stopped too. And all I can tell you is that having a support system, aka my husband, my family, and my friends, and leaning harder into my faith than I ever have before is what got me through this. It's taken me another month since just finishing medication and trying to get back to my new normal to even be able to come here, record an episode, and talk to you about all of this, because it all has felt like a bad dream. It's been surreal. It's like an outer body experience. I still can't believe that a quote unquote simple sprained ankle led to all this. So I will tell you that we could do a whole nother episode of what not being on hormones does to a woman in her 40s in perimenopause, because that's a whole other thing that I'm dealing with now. It's like re-going through puberty again. I'm relearning my entire body. It is a roller coaster, let me tell you. And I will be speaking on that, through different episodes. But again, I wanted to keep this kind of brief as far as like why I took the break, why it was needed, and why I took that time. Well, honestly, I had no choice. The first month I couldn't function. But after that, it was more about honoring my body, my mind, and my spirit, and protecting my own peace, because my joy comes from bringing you all joy. And that's hard to do when you are not well. It wasn't me. I was sick. I was weak. I was going through things that I had never dealt with. So every ounce of energy I had to spare went to me spending time with my husband, my fur babies, and the bare minimum of, quote unquote, working that I had to do to maintain livelihood. So to tell you that I am happy to be back is an understatement. I'll try my best not to get emotional in this episode, but I will tell you that I have never been so grateful for my health, my well-being, my sanity than I am right now. To be back doing what I love, to be back bringing people joy. And I want to say that no matter what journey you're on, there's a light. There's a light at the end of your tunnel. It probably doesn't seem like it right now. And it may not seem like it tomorrow or next week or even next month. And even for me, every day, I feel more and more and more like myself again, more at peace, more accepting. It takes time, but time really does heal. And the good that came from all this, let's talk about that now. I have all new perspectives, not all new, but maybe reinforced values. I have a clearer vision of what I want my life to look like and what I want my business to look like. This podcast, my social media, how I impact the world, and how I am as a life coach. And if you're new to me, by the way, hi, I'm Carla Joy. I'm a certified life coach, and have an online social media presence. I do beauty and wellness because those are the things that bring me joy, and I share them with my community. And if you're still with me on this, you probably already know me if you made it through that a little emotional chapter. But on to the positive. With that clearer vision, I want to say it's like, although there was a setback, I look at it truly as a divine redirection. I want so badly, more than anything, when it comes to my legacy, I want to be remembered as someone who brought people joy, who helped them find their joy. That's what I want. That's what I want my legacy to be about. The woman who just wanted people to be happy. And that's it. It's so simple, but so powerful. And I've been toying with, different names for this episode. But at the end of the day, I think I'm going to call this Coming Back Stronger, Turning Life's Pauses into Power. because I have never felt more empowered to help women. Because I know that if I made it through all that, everything else feels easy. The things that I used to get irritated with or felt overwhelmed about don't bother me anymore. Because they don't matter. They don't matter. And there's one thing I can teach at this moment is focus on the things that do matter. Because that alone is going to change your life. It really and truly is. And there's going to be so many episodes that are going to stem from all these different topics. And I, could go on and on of all the messages and the undertones and the lessons learned in this episode. But I want to be able to hit everyone on a deeper, real level with my audience. I have rediscovered my joy, and I'm going to help you all rediscover your joy in your everyday lives. And if you've ever faced a season that forced you to pause, I want you to know you're not alone. You're not alone. And I will tell you, when you're going through dark things, it can be lonely. Even when you have a support system, you feel like you are the only person going through this. It's tough. You can ask, why is this happening? Which I did 100 times. Why is this happening to me? I'm healthy. I'm relatively young. I eat well. I exercise. I'm not overweight. But yet somehow my body couldn't handle a simple sprained ankle. And that is frustrating. It started out with a lot of frustration. I was mad at my body. I'm having to learn to trust my own body again, which is interesting. But at some point you realize, look, I can either, wash my hands of this, fold in the towel, throw it in, give up, and be like, oh, woe is me. Or I can just be like, oh my gosh, I woke up today. I get to wake up today. And I'll tell you, when you go to sleep at night, every night, for weeks, not knowing if you will wake up, it changes you. It fundamentally changes you. Because I literally start every day now just happy I opened my eyes. And I also realize that there are people who are going through far worse than this. Far worse. Worse medical issues, worse living situations, worse issues than what I dealt with. So there was guilt that I was dealing with where I'm like, here I am feeling bad for what I'm going through, and there's people going through so much worse. So much worse. So again, I had to just kind of make a conscious decision to say, look, I'm just going to get back to living life and live it fuller and harder. And I'm going to enjoy it because it is short and we don't know when our last day is. We don't know. Nothing is promised, friends. Nothing's promised. Tomorrow is not promised. You live for today. Not to say don't make, responsible decisions to set yourself up for a good future. But what I'm saying is every day, do something for you. Do something that is your joy, even if it's 5 minutes. Doesn't matter. Do not let a single day go by without finding joy in it. So, I want to leave on this. This podcast is, of course, going to remain a life coaching podcast because that's what I do and it's what I love. But I want this to be a place for you to explore your moments and your days and turn those moments and struggles and hard days into stepping stones for a more purposeful and joyful life. I want you to leave every one of these episodes feeling something positive, renewed, refreshed, excited, refocused, whatever it might be. That's my goal. That is my goal. It's just to recenter us and to bring us back to what's important and to learn to take care of ourselves, keep our cups full, practice self-care and find our joy together. Because even as a life coach, I have to coach myself to do those things every day. It does not come naturally. It does not come naturally as a woman to put ourselves first. We are the caregivers. We're the caretakers. We're the worriers. We're the organizers. We're the schedulers. We are the doers. And we get lost in that very, very easily if we don't have a constant reminder. And I'm going to be that reminder for you and for myself that even though we are all those things, we are still us. We are still a woman, and we still deserve happiness, peace, respect, and joy. So I hope that's what you're going to get here from me. So I want to say, as a exiting remark, if today's message resonated with you at all, or you think that my podcast, my show can resonate with someone else, can help someone else, can make any difference in a person's life, especially another woman who needs encouragement or needs motivation or just needs a distraction or a reminder, please, please, please share this show. My mission got bigger. My mission is to reach more women, make more impacts on their lives. And I can only do that with your help. Share this podcast. Share it on YouTube. Share it on all of your favorite podcasts, platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you consume your podcast, or if you're watching me on YouTube, please share this. Please, please, please. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. You don't want to miss what's coming next in this season. There's lots of powerful episodes to come. I promise it is going to be a powerful season. You have my word on that. You have my word on that. So that's all I have for you guys today. Little intro to what's to come, recap of what has been. And as always, you guys, if you have questions, concerns, you are looking for any resources, you need a life coach, I'm here. You can reach out anytime. I'm happy to ask questions. Feel free to leave comments in my comment section on YouTube. And you can reach out to me everywhere on social media. I'm on all the platforms at Beauty by Carla Joy. My life coaching is Rejoice Life Coaching. And then, of course, you've got me here at Java and Joy podcast and show. So I hope to see you guys out there on my social media. I always look forward to speaking to you guys. But until next time, next week, next episode, episode 2 of season 2 of Java and Joy. I will see you guys then, and be sure to take care. And as always, go find your joy. Bye, guys.